Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Left of Center podcast. I'm your guest locomotive, Phil Talon. Yes, I can call myself that.
That was a little weak of an intro.
I'm your guest locomotive, Phil Talon, sitting in the locomotion chair.
Yeah, use that voice the entire time.
Locomotion?
Locomotion.
By the way, do we have a show? Let you just start off by saying that, Phil. Do we have a show for you today?
We're doing something fun that's never been done before that is going to blow people's minds.
It's going to put me back in therapy.
Most likely.
So if you tune out now, you're in trouble. And we'll know.
You're
Absolutely.
probably mentally healthier.
I'm watching, and that's what this pad is for. I'm jotting down names that leave the podcast mid-podcast. I'm just putting them on here.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
We have a guest here. I'll call him a guest passenger car that's never been here before. That's true, right?
That's true.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Jeffrey Long. I'm a Virgo.
So is my husband.
That's nice. I enjoy long walks on the beach, and I'm the assistant police chief for the Hammond Police Department.
He's the long arm of the law.
Is that your Bumble bio?
That is my Bumble bio, yes. And my pickup lines at every bar.
Yes.
Like
Awesome.
long walks
So
on
we're
the
going to have some
beach.
fun today. So for people that don't know, Jeff and I have been friends for many, many moons. It's been a long time. Back in the day, we used to be kind of made fun of a little bit. We were almost a little too close as friends.
I would say
Agreed.
that's true.
Yeah,
weird.
like a weird marriage between men in a different way.
You know that's legal now.
Yes, but that's not what we're talking about.
Almost closer than that.
We were pretty close, and we still
Yeah.
are. We're best friends, but we don't see each other as much as
I'm
we used to
telling
because
Dad.
we grew up and have jobs, and it got a little bit more serious. But we've known each other forever. So when I knew I was doing the podcast, I knew immediately we got to have Jeff on. We got to have, first of all, the assistant chief of police. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But when I thought of, and John and I were talking about what could we do on the show to make it the best lock pod show ever done, that Belgium is just going to go crazy about. I knew we had to have Jeff on for this, what we're doing today. So let's talk about that really quick.
The hype is real right now.
I mean,
you hyped that up for 5 minutes.
I'm kind of nervous.
we are doing the Tom or Kevin game show. And the best part about this is the people from home are going to be able to play along. They're going to be able to give their answers as well.
We want them to play along.
If they
Absolutely.
don't, it makes it worse.
Absolutely.
Then it's just me and you talking.
Yes.
It's awkward as hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like anybody, any comments? No comments? Okay, next question. So what we did, do you want to describe, John?
Well, we're going to get into it shortly, but there will be chat involvement in this show. So stick around. We're going to get through a few things first. We're going to talk about some sponsors, and then we're going to get into what Phil is calling the best Lock Pod show ever. And this is the third season.
I'm so excited to be part of this.
I mean, the bar wasn't that high, let's be honest. Okay. First of all, how can I say this without being rude to Tom and Kevin? The
Well,
show,
you were already rude. So.
okay. The show just got a little bit more easier on the eyes for the viewers, if you know what I mean.
Some things have to be said, Phil,
That's it. That's one
whether
of them.
they hurt or not.
That's correct. So hopefully Tom and Kevin didn't understand that reference, but you and I know what's going on.
Exactly.
Hey, you know what I was thinking about? I'm just this. I don't want to beat a dead horse with this. Watch the show; it's going to be amazing. All right. So, Phil, we had lunch the other day at B-Dubs,
Yes, sir.
and I was just thinking about this. Like, the manager came up to us and told us this incredible story, and I think we should talk about it right now.
Absolutely. That's a great idea.
So, they're insanely popular. This BW3 in Hammond, right?
I would say it's even more than just popular. He told us that they are the number 9 BW3s in the world.
In America or the world?
That's what I said to him. Remember? I literally said to him, you mean, first it was like Indiana, that was like United States. He's like, no, every property that BW3s it has out there. So there's some outside of the United States,
Very
obviously.
few,
So-
I can imagine.
But there are some. So,
Top
and the
10.
Hammond BW3s is number 9.
Well, we're on the crossroads of America, that highway strip. we're also #1 in human trafficking because of that highway. So.
Whoa, you took that to a dark level.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just
We were talking
saying,
about BW3s
that
and you went
area
to
is
human
so-
trafficking?
I'm sorry. I'm
It
just
really
saying that
did.
highway brings in a lot of people, like just constantly, all the time, 100% of the time. It's just,
Go to B-dubs for some wings and human trafficking.
woo.
Boy,
If you
they're
buy
never
6
gonna be-
wings, you can also get
Stop,
a young
stop,
child.
stop,
I'm sorry. Okay,
Stop.
we're joking. We're joking.
Stop. Yeah.
They're never going to be a sponsor. So, no, but there was another. So, not only are the busiest, but this is another thing that struck me about the manager's remarks. He said they can't find people to work. They have like 30 open positions right now just at that B-dubs. What's going on, man?
I mean, everybody's talking about this right now. I talked to a lot of business people, and everybody is saying they can't get people to go back to work.
Yeah,
or,
didn't Tzatziki posted recently on their Facebook that they have to be closed 2 days a week now instead of just the one because they don't have enough staff to fill. They don't want to overwork their existing staff.
This is across the board. This is not a Hammond issue. This is a United States issue right now, and I don't know what's going on in other countries, but a lot of it. I mean, we're going to talk about why. I'm interested to hear your. In fact, before I even go, Jeff, let's hear your thoughts.
Well, we talked a little bit about this last night.
Human
and
trafficking,
even this
is that
morning.
the
Yes,
issue?
Yes.
No one wants to go in there.
It's at the crossroads. I mean, we talked.
It's right there. you
It's
know?
right there. No, what I think is that we had this pandemic and everybody was out of work and the government had to do something, right? So they offer this money, and that money comes out to, if you average it out, $12 to $20 an hour, depending on which state you live in. So then people start going back to work, and then you have to make a decision. Do you want to work for maybe $8, $10, $12 an hour, or do you want to stay home and do nothing for $12 to $20 an hour? And you'd like to think that most people would say, I'd rather work, right? But the fact is, they're thinking rationally. Why would I work for 10 when I can make $12, $14 an hour sitting at home? So I don't blame them so much. But if I were them, I would get back into the workforce now because eventually those benefits are going to run out.
And that's the question. How long can you actually be on unemployment? I honestly don't know that answer.
A year, I think, is the answer, but
It's-
they extended it. So,
Okay.
Yes.
So, but in a typical, let's say we're not in a pandemic. Is it a year even when we're not, we don't have a
I
pandemic?
think
It's
so,
12
yes.
Okay.
6 months or a year. It's one or the other.
And then after that, they just cut you off cold turkey.
Correct,
You get
yes,
nothing. So right now, it's probably been extended because of COVID. And that's why we're probably seeing this issue that we're having right now. But I also think it's a lazy person versus a person who, you know, instinctually just wants to work and be productive and, you know, be a good family member and all those things. Go ahead, Lindsay. You're making a
What
face.
kind of people do you think work at BW3s? I mean, the people that I know who are currently collecting unemployment weren't waiters. They were marketing specialists, and they're not going back to work. So they need to get that unemployment.
Yeah, when I think of BW3s, at least
I think of like teenagers and young
Exactly.
20-somethings that are working there. They're going back to school. Like they've been in school online virtually. So I don't think that this is like a fast, sure, like restaurants, those are not ideal jobs. The people I know who aren't working are working in data. They're working in technology. They're working in all kinds of fields that are 100% not hiring right now at all.
But Jeff is right. I mean, if you're a kid and your first experience with unemployment is, hey, I can make X, which is more than what I make when I'm actually working, some of those kids are going to make what I would consider maybe the wrong decision, which is sit at home and play Call of Duty every day and, you know, don't do anything.
That sounds dope.
I don't even know if it's the wrong decision. It's like you're being an entrepreneur. I mean, think about it. You can sit at home and watch cartoons and make $12 an hour. You got to encourage people to go back to work somehow.
And so you can stay at home and make $12 an hour and not risk getting COVID,
Right.
or go to work in the service industry as a server or whatever and risk getting COVID and not make that good of money. But the other thing too is this B-Dubs manager said they're hiring people for like $13 an hour and they still can't get anybody. They just keep raising the hourly rate to try and get people.
You know, I just got hired as a CNA, and $13 an hour, they are going to be making more than what I will out of the gate.
Wow.
Straight out of
That's
the gate.
crazy.
Well,
But
you
you
should
know
go
what?
to B-Dubs.
Like,
You should become a
I
CEO
don't-
of
you know what?
unemployment
I-
at your house, as Jeff said.
I will say,
The true entrepreneur of this country.
I have worked in the restaurant field, and I will never go back. 100%. I will not.
I just visualize people putting on their resume. I was the CEO of my house for 12 months. Sorry, Lindsay.
CEO of Phil Enterprises.
That's right. You call it whatever you want.
John's point is very valid, though. Would you want to go back to work and be around the possibility of getting COVID? That even makes the pay even worse when you're going to work for $10, $12 an hour.
But there isn't it. Okay, with the pandemic, it's created this the mega issue, this mega unemployment issue. But in general, without the pandemic, there is an issue of lazy people versus
100%.
There are always going to be people out there looking for loopholes. They're always going to be looking for programs to help. And this is what I think, maybe a little bit of Republican versus Democrat, because I think Republicans are very much against, I'll say Republicans are more against those type of programs because they think that it's government making you lazy or pushing you to be lazy, if you will, where Democrats are more like, hey, there's going to be people that are going to fall upon hard times and they need some assistance and we need programs in place if and when that happens.
I don't know one Republican who doesn't agree with you there, that there should be a safety net for people who have worked and people who have been laid off. I mean, do you?
Well, let me put it this way. If there's a program out there, say somebody lost their job, and there's a program out there, like you go through Workforce One or something, and through that program they give you a cell phone so that you can make calls and receive calls as you're trying to apply for a job or get a job. If a Republican sees somebody on a video like, "Hey, I got my free cell phone, I'm doing whatever," I think there's from my view of Republicans, they get this immediate anger inside them, like, why is this person who's not working get something free where I got to pay for my? I mean, tell me, am I wrong about that?
I think they get upset about the abuse of the system,
but that's what I'm tying into. Is there's some people out there that doesn't matter if they're lazy, if they're inherently lazy, they're going to abuse anything they're going to find the loophole out there no matter what it is. So to me, if there's a program, and I'm definitely not pushing free cell phones for people, okay? But
that was a thing for a while. There were like tents set up on the side of the road. It was like, get your free cell phone. To me, that seems like it's running rampant. Just come get a free cell phone. I don't know, man.
But if you share this podcast online, we will give you a free cell phone. Just so
That's
you know,
true.
because we want as many viewers as possible.
It's the
Yeah, wait a minute. I didn't say anything about iPhone.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking about the flip.
I was showing him the phone. Never
Yeah,
mind.
it doesn't even have all the numbers on it. It only goes to 8.
It's that classic Nokia, man.
I'm going to give you a cell phone, but it's going to be challenging. You can't call everybody.
No, honestly, to Phil's point, we're just going to remind everybody, we have a game coming up that is ridiculous, and it's called Tom or Kevin. You're not going to want to miss this, so share this stream. There's already 18 shares, so you've got to give 18 cell phones away.
Wow. Well, keep sharing, everybody. We appreciate that. We want it to be huge by the time we get to the game, and we need their participation.
We do, and we jumped right into some heavy stuff, but before we forget, we got to get Lindsay's shtick in. We got to get some ads in. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, you're listening to Left of Center, where we cover everything from politics to important events of the day in the Midwest and the nation, all while having way too much fun while doing it. If you can't get enough of us, follow us on Facebook at Left of Center Podcast or on Twitter at LockPod, LOCPOD. And if you can't listen in live, you can always download our episodes from the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio apps. Just search Left of Center Podcast and look for our red and blue logo. Don't forget to subscribe and rate, please. If you want to start an ad on our show, our beautiful show, you can send an email to Steve at lockpod.com. Steve at lockpod.com. I talked too fast and it's way too early for
Imagine
this.
if we owned podcast.com. That thing's got to be worth some money.
That'd be
domain.
amazing. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure Apple has it. Isn't
sure.
it? If you type in pod, I'm going to do it right now.
John, why'd you chuckle when Lindsay said beautiful show? Like you're like
He doesn't think it's pretty.
you
I think it's
snorted
great.
on the microphone.
I don't know.
Guess what? Audible owns podcast.com.
Wow.
Look at that.
By the way, the viewerships are in the triple digits, guys. You should know.
Here we go.
People can't wait to see this game. So let's get through these ads.
Did we say there's going to be a prize for the game show as well? We
Oh,
need to
no.
There's
talk
no
about that.
point system.
Share this.
Oh, there's a point system.
Just so you know, there's a point
You
system.
guys
wait
hung
until
out
you hear
without
this.
me yesterday, and I
know.
feel really left out.
But there is going to be a prize. We're going to have a $25 gift card to Byway Brewery, who is not a sponsor of this show. And why would they be? Nobody that frequents their restaurant listens to this.
Are they not a sponsor?
No, are they a sponsor? No, they're not a sponsor. Are they? You know what?
They purchased for a very brief amount of time.
They were a
did one
sponsor, so
show.
treat them with respect.
After this, we're going to get them back. Okay? Write that down. You
So
gotta put-
for
Steve,
chat,
write that down.
$25 gift card can be yours, depending on how amazing your participation is in this game.
You know, using your guys' logic from earlier in this episode, if everybody shares it, that's more competition. So, like, if they don't share it, there's less people to compete with to get this gift card.
Well, if they share it, they can get their free cell phone, then call somebody and tell them to get on here. I mean, it's like a vicious cycle.
I love how we're like, no handouts. And then we're like, hey,
Here, handout.
here's $25. Here's $5.
We're encouraging people to stay home even more now.
We can do handouts because we have a week show,
I
but
gotcha.
other people can't do that.
I got you.
Yeah, we're not the
Oh, you want to do these
government.
sponsorships? You want to start, Jeff?
So we just before you get into this, the business manager just chimed in and said Byway is a sponsor. So
Oh, nice.
we take back
Awesome.
everything we said about them.
We just created a new sponsor, Jeff, by saying what we said.
Without even trying.
That
Fake
was
news.
awesome.
So sweet.
Yep.
Okay, I'll do the first one. Powering America is Northwest Indiana's source for a trusted electrical professional.
Good start.
If you are a developer looking for a large-scale electrical contractor, Power America can help take the guesswork out of finding a professional you can trust. Their select network of electrical contractors are committed to employing local electricians that have successfully completed a certified apprenticeship training program registered with the Indiana Department of Labor. All employees are held to a high standard of professionalism, expertise, and knowledge, and all their contractors are licensed, bonded, and insured. If you would like more information about your electrical needs, visit Powering America today at certifiedelectrician.com.
Yeah, we're going to use
That
the
was
word
tough.
electronical a few times
Yes.
throughout this podcast.
That's the name of this show.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way,
Perfect. Tortillos Nuevo Leon. Should I say this one in Spanish or English, you guys? What do you
I want to
Spanish,
hear it
do
all
it.
in Spanish.
Let me start with English, and then we'll take it
Sure,
from there.
definitely.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard of Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest.
Are you sure you can even
I
speak
don't
English?
know. You know what? Kevin and Tom are going to watch this at home and be like, all right, we got to get new subs when we're not going to be here. The Martinez model for success has always been responsive customer service, great tasting products with an authentic Mexican taste, and high-quality standards. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortilla Nuevo Leon.
Moving right along.
Yes, sir.
Tri Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider. Tri Electronics has been a leader in the industry for more than 55 years and can provide your business end-to-end communication solutions. For more information, call Tri Electronics today at 800-722-6793 and tell them LOCPOD sent you.
Our good.
This is too fun. We're
Yes,
having
This
fun.
is like saying Blink 182.
Jeff, how many times have you watched this show?
Counting today?
Oh, no, don't answer the question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
don't get
Thank you.
yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
LOCPOD.
LOCPOD. Okay. Grisolia's Concrete was voted #1 in the Times Best of the Region 2020 and specializes in all your concrete projects. There's an exclamation point. I should have screamed that. Grisolia's has been using the original cement finish in California style since 1972 and also offers stamped and colored concrete. For more information or a project quote, call Grisolia's at 219-659-4127. There's one more there. It was Byway was right on the sheet. We're like questioning, is Byway a sponsor? I mean, we could have just like looked at the sheet.
I will be perfectly honest. Whenever they're reading the ads, I kind of zone out.
Yeah,
I just don't pay attention. So.
We value our sponsors here at Lockpod.
so much.
I mean, all
So
the times I've watched the show, I do too.
Oh
so
my. Can you imagine how many people have gone to Byway because they listened to LOCPOD and they're like,
It sounds like a rap group or
Yeah.
something. We're just LOC.
LOCPOD.
what's up?
Yeah, you know.
Do you want to
me.
do last one, Jeff? So
Yeah,
we can
sure.
make fun of Electronical some more?
Yeah, Byway Brewery is family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outside patio, perfect for enjoying its finely crafted ales, lagers, and chef-driven food. Oh my God!
Word.
Really, you guys? I went to school. I did
Guys,
go to
he's
school.
an amazing police officer.
guy is
Doesn't
the
matter
What'd you
assistant
major
chief
in?
of
think.
police.
Right now. Amazing.
Although I've watched this show many times, this is the first time I've been on it. So cut me some slack.
All
okay?
kidding aside, I did these. The first time I did the sponsorships, I was kind of doing the same thing.
Okay.
And they are relentless when they.
What did you study in school?
a lot of gem, mostly gem.
Oh, okay. They
Push-ups.
don't teach you to read.
That's
there,
how you
so.
become a cop. You
Jeff.
major in push-ups
Jeff, how do you spell
and
Jim?
bullying.
JIM.
JIM. Everybody knows that, John.
Chat is having a blast. They said the sponsor should get a refund.
Put that person down
Tell
for,
them I
for
agree with them.
a potential gift card winner.
Yes, I agree. Erica Dombey, you are in the running for the gift card.
Brewing equipment in our production side offers a unique backdrop for your private event like bridal and baby showers, reunions, and corporate events. Conveniently located just off 8094 and the Kennedy Avenue South exit, come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu.
Byway is amazing. I was there on Sunday for Mother's Day.
Very good food.
They had a lobster salad that like blew my mind. And I'm telling you, their food, just every time you go in there, because they always have a special, I always try the newest thing because it's always unbelievable. Just like 18th Street Brewery, too. They have really good food also.
It's always good.
Yes.
Good stuff.
So like and follow our podcast on Facebook or on Twitter at LOCPOD. or
Yeah,
on
you
YouTube.
know me.
Like and share.
Hey, before we get into
Amateurs.
this game, which
Yeah.
everybody's watching
Have
for.
they noticed that there's this whiteboard sitting up here? They might
Hey,
figure out there's something going
I
on.
got those from Five Below, $5 each. Good quality, nice frame.
They do look
They
nice.
look
And
really
I put
nice.
a sticker on the back.
Nice, Lindsay. Good job.
Thank you.
Jeff,
Yes.
you're a cop.
Yes.
How do you like it?
Now, don't
Today
say
or
anything
in
bad.
general?
Well, no,
Yeah.
seriously though,
Yeah.
that's interesting question is like being a police officer today as compared to what's a good 10 years ago? Because you've been on the force for how long?
32 years.
Wow.
So we could even say 20 years. But anyhow, you get the gist of the question. It's obviously there's a lot more going on today. And I think, excuse me, social media and videoing and everything else that's going on. Anyhow, how do you feel today compared to, early on?
Well, obviously, it's a much more challenging job now. There's a lot more that goes into it. Like you said, we have body cams now, which makes us more transparent, which we all appreciate. That's one of the things that if I were president of the United States, I would implement right away. Every police officer in America has to have a body cam. I know some wouldn't like to hear that, but I think it protects you. It makes people that you're dealing with respond differently to you on occasionally. And any complaints you get to see right away if you were right or wrong. So it's more difficult now, but I still love being a police officer.
When we first implemented body cams in Hammond, though, wasn't there some, what would be the word, some officers that were concerned about it? Like almost like we're trying to watch them in a weird way, not, like it's Big Brother over them or no? Am I
No, there was. And I think it was because it was new. I mean, would any one of the three of you like to wear a camera that recorded you every time you did something to do with your job? And
I'd be in jail right now.
Wow.
I mean, there's not with my job, but just, for
In
the other
general?
stuff that I do, like my hobbies.
At night.
Yes.
My peeping
with
Tom
magnets.
hobbies.
I do a lot of things with magnets I don't want anybody to know about. It's private.
Ball bearings?
Yes.
No, nobody would want to wear a camera because it's, nobody's perfect 8 hours a day. You're going to say things occasionally. So there was some negative feedback, from the beginning, but I would say now every police officer is happy to have it.
Well, even the police officer that was just found guilty, was it Chauvin? Is that how you say his name? With the George Floyd incident. Didn't he have incidents in the past where if he had a body camera, he may have never been a cop and got to that point where he could have did what he did?
That's kind of the point of the camera. That's why I said I don't know if the government would have to fund that because it's very expensive to hold all that information in the cloud. Small police departments can't afford it. But if the government stepped in and said, no, you're going to have a camera, guys like that have had several complaints against them wouldn't be police officers.
I thought I read or heard not that long ago there was a department that got rid of their body cameras.
Well, if they did,
Wow.
maybe it was because it was financial.
Right.
Because it's very expensive. I don't want to get into how much it is, but it is very expensive.
The storage of it.
Yeah, because
right?
you got to keep the stuff for at least a year.
Yeah, what happens if somebody comes in with a complaint, and 2 months ago, this guy pulled me over and, he said this or did this, and you're like, oh, we don't have the body camera footage that far back or something, then they're going to think, oh, you're hiding it or
Absolutely.
You're doing this on purpose, that
Right.
kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, because like you said, 6 months ago, you think you got 200 police officers with cameras every day. You can imagine how much storage that's going to take. And 6 months ago, if you need to see a traffic stop, you got to be able to have it.
Do you think, and be honest, and don't just say what you think LOCPOD wants to hear, but do you think that there are police officers that have watched footage of themselves after, a traffic stop or whatever it was, And actually it helped make them a better police officer because they heard themselves or saw themselves maybe do something or say something, and they're like, oh man, I could have worded that different or whatever.
100%, including me. And sometimes the way you drive too. You know, you're driving, you're trying to get to an emergency call, or you're chasing somebody, and you realize after the fact, maybe I went a little too fast here or did something. So absolutely, when I've called officers in and we've watched their video, they immediately, the head goes down and they acknowledge that they did something wrong. So it's very nice.
Well, especially like you're in the heat of the moment. I feel like a lot of people react naturally to those things. They're not thinking through things. So like, I mean, when you're in a football team, they record your game and you guys watch it back and you think about how can I improve my job? How can I do my job better? Which I think is a good accountability system. I like the cameras personally.
You know what, too, I've noticed, Jeff, and I know you're wearing your assistant chief hat right now in this conversation, but I feel like when footage comes out, everyone's a pro. Everyone's an expert on what the cop should have done. And I can't help but think of this, and I just want to start by saying this was very tragic what happened. This teenager in Chicago who was shot in an alley by a police officer. The body cam footage comes out, and everyone's just going nuts over it. Well, what it turned out to be is the cop had less than 1 second between when that kid threw the gun behind the fence and when he turned around. And it's very tragic what happened, but can you imagine that scenario, that cop alone in that alley, chasing someone who had just been firing off a gun, less than 1 second from when he had the gun in his hand and he didn't? It's got to be so tough, camera or not, man.
Well, that's the point. Let's start by, it's a tragedy. I mean, he was 13 or 14 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's terrible.
So it's terrible. Yeah. But when you're in a dark alley, you know somebody, you're chasing somebody that you know has a gun in their hand, and they turn. You have such a small amount of time to make a decision. So after the fact, once people can watch the video over and over and over and dissect it, they have to realize he had to make a decision in tenths of seconds. So it's not an easy decision, and you can look back on it. You can say, I wouldn't have done that. But would you have if you were in that same situation in a dark alley chasing somebody that had a gun in their hand? And I don't know what the answer is. You'll have to answer that yourself. But it was a tragedy. That's all I'll say. But I think it was justified if you're asking my opinion.
It certainly is a lot more difficult to be a police officer today in a lot of ways. But like you just said, you are a police officer. You're one of our top police officers in Hammond. And you're saying, look, we need body cameras for everybody because then, it protects the police officer just like it protects the people who are, getting a ticket or whatever it may be.
Quit hitting the table.
Sorry, am I making noise with that?
Yeah.
I'm getting nervous. We're talking about police.
It sounds like Godzilla's like walking towards us from a distance.
Yeah. I work horseshoe off duty, and when you're dealing with people and they know they're being recorded, many, many times it changes the way they respond to you because they know that's going to come out later. And it also changes the way you respond to them.
In a bad way, you're saying?
No, in a good. They calm down a little bit more because they don't want to be caught on camera, threatening me or cussing at me or something like that. But it also makes me think, hey, I need to talk more professional. I need to be a little bit more calm in this situation. It does help both sides. And I immediately, if I was the president, would say body cams for every police officer.
Well, when I say in a bad way, I remember an incident at Festival of Lakes where we were backstage and there was an artist who I'm not going to say their name, but their entourage was coming in. And one of the police officers tried to stop, and it turned out to be the manager of one of our, big artists that we had. And immediately when the police officer was stopping, doing the right thing, by the way, hey, we got to make sure we're not getting random folks that are trying to get on stage. Immediately, like 6 or 7 people pulled out their body cam or their phones immediately, and you almost felt like they want something to happen so they could say, we create an incident, we're going to be on TMZ later, and that sort of thing. So doesn't that, you'll get a little bit of that too.
I agree. It happens all the time. Horseshoe, you're not supposed to record, but every time somebody gets arrested or dealt with, there's phones coming out everywhere. So that's why I would rather have my own camera giving my perspective that has audio also, because sometimes video doesn't tell the whole story. True. So I would like to, like I said, body cams for everybody, if you ask me.
Does that make you mad when you're say you're pulling somebody over and there's somebody on the sidewalk and do you get angry seeing somebody sticking the phone out, recording you?
I think I used to if I was being honest. Now, as long as they're not, affecting my traffic stop, putting me in a bad position, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all.
I think that reaction comes naturally from incidences where some cops have like failed to turn on the body cam, because I know there's some systems that don't automatically turn on. You have to remember to do that. And there have been times where incidences have been explained away because we just don't have footage, even though they had body cameras. So everyone wants to make sure that there's somebody watching, somebody making sure that people are being held accountable and nothing bad's happening. So, I mean, I'm sure that in some instances there are people who are like, I'm going to get attention from this, but other people just want to make sure that there's that accountability.
Agreed. Yeah, this goes, there's a lot of different ways to look at these types of things. I think being a police officer, and obviously it's easy from outside to talk about it, but because of phones and videoing, you have to change the way you do some things. Like you almost have to give a waiver as you're on video. So like, when we had an incident in Hammond years and years ago where there was a windshield broken or whatever, you almost like these days you've got to be like, okay, I'm now going to break the windshield, glass could fly, and somebody could get hurt. Like you have to say it like a waiver on the video before you do it, so that eventually when this person sues you and it goes to court, you're like, look, you could see the whole thing on video, but that's, I guess, what your body camera does too, essentially.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think you need to do that.
Someone in chat is saying, it's Lisa, a top fan. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for watching. iPhone has a feature now where you can tell Siri to, quote unquote, record the police.
Is that true?
We got to try that.
I think, there's a feature that you can add to your phone where you say, Siri, I've been pulled over, and it sets up the camera for you and starts recording.
Here we go.
Wow.
Hey, Siri, I've been pulled over.
Well, maybe that's
my Siri did not understand.
Why is
that.
your Siri British?
I don't know. I thought it was kind of
What
cool.
if she responded
maybe
like...
that's why, because it's not the American Siri.
What if she responded to me like, I'm watching Jeff Long for you right now?
Yeah. All right, let's try that. Hey, Siri, record the police.
I think it's
Wow,
because your
Siri
Siri
is-
is British.
Yeah, could
Or
be.
maybe you have to even turn on that function or something.
Maybe.
If it's a real thing.
We're
Lisa, why are you lying to us?
Yeah, Lisa, what's going on?
Why
You trying to
you
get the
keep
gift
lying all
card?
the time?
Is it that?
Lisa wants the gift card. Okay, guys, it's time.
All right.
We've had enough fun. Let's have some more fun. This is it. Let me start this really cool video we spent a lot of money and time on.
Mm-hmm.
The Tom or Kevin show is upon us.
That's
So
kind of cute.
with
Why did you put Dad on the blue side? I feel like they should be reversed. Kevin's more blue than Dad, I think.
You're thinking too much into this.
I am.
But when we heard that Tom and Kevin would not be here today, we still wanted to keep them involved somehow. So we thought of this diabolical game called Tom or Kevin. Gentlemen, there are 2 dry erase boards right there. Go ahead and grab those. And here's how this is going to go down. And chat, it's very important that you participate as well. So I am going to ask a question. Many questions, actually, one at a time. Who would, we're going to ask a question, and you're going to say if this would be Tom or Kevin. It's that simple. Chat, feel free to participate. Put your answer in the chat and maybe even a brief description explaining why you chose Tom or Kevin. And we will award points that mean nothing based on your explanations.
It's like, whose line is it anyway? Where
Exactly.
everything's made up and the points don't matter.
You get it.
Except somebody will get a gift card, maybe.
So, but I think it's important to know, John, when we came up with this, we talked about types of questions, but Jeff and I don't know what you're going to ask.
Right.
And we don't know anything about obviously what either person is going to put. So it's going to be completely on the spot, which is going to make it hard on us depending on what questions you come up with. And I know there's going to be some really good ones. So anyhow, I just want people to know that.
Please try to keep the raunchiness to a minimum, please.
If one of us is fired after this show, because we had a hashtag going on 3 shows ago, Save Phil's job. We may be doing Save Phil and Jeff's job after this, depending on our answers.
Yeah.
Then we'll need the gift card.
Exactly.
And some of these questions are NSFW, not safe for work. So if you're at work, you might want to tune out now.
If
or
kids
put your
are
headphones
listening,
Kids are listening.
Drop them off at school. Get them there now.
Are we just putting a K or a T? Or are we spelling out their whole name?
you could change it any way you want.
Okay.
As long as
Sometimes
it's
put
easy to
Kevin,
understand.
sometimes put a letter, because I don't want to be able to see how many letters you wrote.
You can write caboose and locomotive.
Because Tom has 4 letters and Kevin has 7. So I could see if you write that many, I'll know what name you're
Got
putting.
it. Got it.
Okay. Are you guys ready?
So
You're
ready. So ready.
You're going down.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Question 1. Let's just get right into it. Who would die first in a zombie apocalypse, Tom or Kevin?
Oh, I know this one right away.
Who would die first?
Yeah, so let's just say Tookums Carlson is on Fox News, and he's like, we're all dying. We're all going to die because COVID turned into a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, nice spin. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Flip the boards towards the cameras, boys.
I love it. I love it.
Both.
That's my answer, too.
Both Tom.
Well, I would explain why before Tom sees this. And
He probably should. You know he's watching right now.
first of all, I'm thinking very quickly on this, but my thought is, like, I feel like Tom would be one of those people, if zombies were coming at people, he'd be one like, yeah, I can go out and I can take them. Like, he'll put the black mark under his eyes and grab a baseball bat and go out there and thinking that's going to work.
Yeah.
And I think he'd be dead immediately, where Kevin would probably, well, I don't know. I don't know what Kevin would do.
I think Kevin would be more strategic. He would try to hide, lie, and wait kind of thing. Tom would go confront him right away. So, yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think that what my dad would do is, like, initially right out the gate, he's going to be like, I run a marathon. I'll be fine. And then he would, like, get caught immediately.
It's like I'm doing a triathlon. This is not going to be an issue for me.
Like, eventually all the zombies are going to die if Kevin just lies in wait. I think he's smart like that.
Yep.
So
Chat seems to be evenly split, by the way, between Kevin and Tom.
Really?
You know what? Kelly Mickey's got a really great point. No, I'm sorry. This was Felix. Tom and his Mustang would never get caught.
yeah,
you guys
well,
got
he's
to
going
think
to run
about
out
this
of
stuff.
gas
Yes.
at some point.
Has this person watched The Walking Dead at all?
Right.
Cars
I
are
mean-
only reliable for the first week.
That's right.
Okay. Question 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Boards erased. You ready to start over?
Yeah, how many
Chat-
points did I won?
Chat,
that one,
are
right,
you ready?
John? Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll keep track.
I don't know, man. That was like an appetizer. No points for that one. No
All
one
right.
got any
Okay.
points. Okay, here we go. Who would you rather be stranded on an island with, Tom or Kevin?
Oh,
Oh,
You guys got to think about this one. You got survival to think about. Who's going to help survive?
no. I
did
got
somebody
this one.
let Kevin bring a
Who's
book?
going to try and eat you? You know what I mean?
I got this one.
Kevin would
This is
eat
a
me.
no-brainer.
Ready?
Yeah.
Flip them. Oh, split.
What did you-
This
oh,
is where we award
with
points.
Kevin?
Phil would
Oh.
rather be stranded with Tom. Jeff would be rather stranded with Kevin. Why?
You go first, Jeff.
Why would I be rather? I'm going to say that Kevin. I
Like,
think
this is going to get weird and sexual, is it? Because for a second, as slow as he was going,
Kevin looks really nice in jeans. No, I'm going to say that I think Tom would still be my boss on the island, and I don't want a boss on the island.
True,
Ah.
true.
Kevin might be more like a partner, I think. Not in a weird way, just kind of a partner.
that's it. Well,
Did I make
you
it
do-
weird?
Nobody's judging you.
Okay, good, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
No.
make it
I'm
weird.
judging you.
Lindsay's always
That's an
judging.
interesting
That's
way of
my
looking.
job.
I picked Tom because I know for a fact Tom watches a ton of like
Naked and
Naked and
Afraid.
Afraid.
Yep.
So I feel like he'd know some things. Like if you watch that show enough, you're going to learn some stuff from the people who like quit or that made it to the end. I don't know that he'd be able to make a fire or anything.
Yeah, but what if Tom takes his clothes off and he doesn't need to? That's what you're saying.
You know what I
Naked and
didn't think
afraid.
about, which is funny. You just said that is like he would be the boss though, right?
Yeah.
He'd be like, you know, if I try to take any leadership skill whatsoever, he'd be like, no, you're still my chief of staff
Yeah,
here.
give me a coconut or something.
You're
yeah.
my chief of staff of all these
You're
crabs.
still my bitch on this island, Phil. So go get me a
Okay,
coconut.
Jeff, 500 points. Phil, 20 points.
You go get me a coconut, Phil, right now.
Andrea in the chat says Tom for the entertainment, but Kevin for the survival.
See,
Kevin's too bougie.
I agree.
He's too bougie.
Kevin would be like trying to do his hair in the morning.
He's gonna like try and get his Audi onto the island. He's like, we
Yeah.
gotta live in style.
No, I think Tom's the no-brainer there.
Yeah,
I'm
and
winning.
You know
in
what?
my mind.
In your mind.
Against
yes.
you.
I think if I were ever stranded, I would choose Dad too, because at least he would feel bad for eating me if it came down to it. You know.
Aw, that was a
No.
sweet story, Lindsay.
You didn't say he wouldn't do it. You
I'm
just said he
getting-
would feel bad.
I'm tearing up.
And if I were to eat him first, he's got more meat on his bones than I do.
I could
so.
see Tom like
Meat.
literally. You guys ran out of food. I could see him like killing himself and saying, "Lindsay, just finish me off and live for another month."
Thanks,
you know what I mean?
Dad.
I don't see
Yeah.
that at all.
You don't see it?
No.
He's like, Lindsay, look over there.
Oh,
You were a great daughter.
I got a good one.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Chat, are you ready? Here we go. This one's a bit of a story. All right. Let me lead up to this one.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time. It's dark. It's late.
Ew.
You might not be in the best part of town. You find yourself in an alley, surrounded by 3 guys. Where am I going with this?
Nobody knows. We're all a little nervous.
Are they all Kevin or all Dad?
And you realize an epic battle of wits and strength is about to be upon you. You get to choose one person to help you fight off the biggest fight of your life. Tom or Kevin, who do you pick?
Oh, this is kind of tough.
Wow.
This is a weird scenario.
Flip them.
Keep in mind, we're doing these quick.
Aw.
Both Tom.
What?
Tombo. I'm going Tombo here.
Okay.
And I'll tell you
not
why. I
use
mean,
that word.
first of all, yeah, he's going to be angry I said that. He's got the Navy experience, right? He was in the military.
He's scrappy.
I would assume they do some sort of hand-to-hand combat training.
Down there in the sub.
I know in the sub they're doing
Taught him
hand-to-hand
how to
things.
swim.
Yeah. Hand to hand.
There's some hand to something, but I don't know.
They're like, okay, guys, when you get lonely in the sub, here's some hand-to-hand techniques you're going to want to... Okay, I'm making that weird.
Literally no one in chat is choosing Kevin. I feel so bad for Kevin right
Kevin.
now.
Well, this comes down to the bougie Kevin. Why'd you pick Tom, Jeff?
I think because I've coached with him and I've seen how competitive he is and how
Oh, yeah, he gets
fiery he
aggressive.
is. So I think, I think he'd be the better choice. Even if maybe he could scare the guys enough, just being loud. You know, maybe he'd scare them away.
I could see that, but I will tell you this. Kevin's a sneaky pick there.
I agree.
Because Kevin is more athletic than people know. Because every time we have the employee Olympics, and it always surprises me. Like, Kevin's good at volleyball and basketball. I mean, he just doesn't look like he'd be Mr. Athlete. But anyhow, sorry, Kevin.
Okay. You both get 400 points.
Yes.
Good job.
Boom.
Yeah. Good job,
I think
chat.
that's the most ever given.
I told you I'd get more than
I
300.
know.
Next question. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here we go. If you find yourself facing a life sentence, who would you want as your attorney? This is about to get personal. Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't think that's fair,
I
John.
want John Cantrell on my side.
Are we allowed to skip one? No?
Okay.
Who's the one who's practiced law the most recently?
Bingo, Lindsay. Bingo.
Although one of them has been a what was it, a criminal
a
attorney?
trial attorney? Or
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they both have probably been. I would guess, even though Tom only practiced for a limited time, he's probably been to trial.
He did traffic and criminal law.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
People are turning on the locomotive so quick in chat. Not
Yeah.
one time.
Kevin's sassy, you know?
I like this that they're participating from home. Are we ready?
I love it. Yep. Flip them.
Yeah, K-Train.
K-Train and Kevin. 10-4.
Are you first on this one?
Yeah, I think this is an easy one because I don't know Tom as a lawyer. I don't know him. I've known him as a coach, a mayor. Kevin has practiced. I've got a lot of good advice from him. So although Tom is probably a great lawyer, I know that Kevin is because I've seen it. So I'm going to go with Kevin.
Well, and I could speak firsthand because Kevin actually helped me with when I was going through my divorce from a long time ago. And recently, like the child support payments were going away because Nate turned 19. And Kevin helped me with that. And I tease him all the time because he helped me with the case, but it got delayed 6 months. And then like they scheduled the court case on my birthday. I was like, thanks, Kevin.
Nice.
You've done nothing but great things. I'm paying 6 more months of child support payments, and I have to go on my birthday to court.
No.
But anyhow, I would choose Kevin there. I think he's got more experience for sure
I
at
think so
this
too.
point.
Okay. 100 points for each of you.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
job.
Awesome.
This next one could, you guys might lose your jobs if you don't choose right. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
I don't have a job, so.
Okay, here we go. Chat, I hope you're ready for this one. You're on a plane. It's going down. I mean, it's going down. You have one extra parachute.
Oh Lord.
Who do you give it to? Tom or Kevin?
He's making us choose who we're killing.
Yeah, exactly.
Who dies?
No, who you're saving.
And you better not say you're going to give him one of your parachute either. You know.
Nope. No. There's
No, Phil's too
that's not a
selfish.
scenario,
No,
right?
I think that would be his answer. I think
Nobody's
I'll
getting
give
my
up
parachute.
Okay.
No
My
way.
answer would be my dad would give me his parachute, and then him and Kevin could figure it out on their own. So
This one's easy.
It's a father's love.
Easy, Jeff?
Easy. I'll explain why. I mean,
Like
it's
what?
easy.
You said that to they're sitting on the plane waiting for you to give them a parachute, and you're like, "This is easy."
You're
Here you
gonna
go.
see them.
Choice.
You're going to see them after the show.
No, after I give the explanation, they're going to agree
Okay.
it's easy.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah, as
flip
they're-
them. Oh,
Who'd you pick?
wow.
Hung jury.
Whoa.
Phil's going with Kevin. Jeff is going with Tom.
We need these explanations.
Yes,
Listen.
we do.
Yeah,
So-
feel free.
Okay, I'm first, right?
Yes.
Here's why I'm picking Kevin. And this is very quick thinking.
Andrew, because these chats are coming in so fast. I don't want to miss this one.
Are they giving-
Andrea, who is going to be in the running for this gift card now, says, I let them fight to the death for it
Yes.
while the plane's going down.
Do you have that much time?
And you video
An
it.
action film.
And like this, and then you take it back, you show the family member, this is how your family member went out, like a champ.
Andrea Butler, we got to remember that. She might win that gift card.
You know
okay.
what? I'm picking Kevin because I feel like, if first of all, I give it to Tom, Kevin's just going to just go
really-
down with the plane and it's the end of it. Or if I give it to Kevin, I feel like Tom's going to look around the plane. He's going to find like some paper clips and some bubble gum and a cork board or something. And he's going to like make a
MacGyver
makeshift
it out.
wing
Okay.
thing and try and make his way. So I still think he'd have a chance, where Kevin, I think, would probably get in the fetal position in the corner and just cry.
Aw.
That is the worst answer I've ever heard.
what I got.
I'm going to pick Tom.
Okay.
He's our boss.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if you forgot about that part. So, and I think what I'll do is I'll probably give Kevin like a random backpack or something.
Oh,
so,
no.
No, listen, just so he has those last few moments where he thinks he's going to be okay.
That is the worst answer ever.
No, I mean,
That is so mean.
no, it's not mean, but I think Kevin, just give him those last few seconds. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, Jeff, are you sure this is a parachute? It says Yeti on it.
Exactly.
He jumps out, he pulls the string, and like old clothes go flying into the air.
Cans of old style go flying out.
Kevin's last thoughts are,
You can't
Jeff
take
accidentally
old style
gave me
on
the
an
wrong.
airplane.
No, I'm going to go with Tom just because he's our boss, and I kind of want him to stay our boss.
That was kind of cruel, Jeff.
I'm sorry.
I feel like your friendship with Kevin's going to be different.
Oh,
I'm
my
sure it
gosh.
is, but Kevin knows I love him. So,
Wow.
okay, sorry.
This is a fun game. I like this game.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Unless you're Kevin and you just got a backpack full of sheets that Jeff put together just in case the scenario happens.
Negative 5,000 points for Jeff. Take that away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another 1,000 points for Phil.
Okay.
Here we go. Another question. Oh, boy. Okay, here we go. I can't wait to hear chat on this one. Who is most likely to be hit on by a gay man? Tom or Kevin?
Oh, I know this one right off the bat.
I can't wait to hear Lindsay's response.
Oh, boy.
Ooh,
Man, he's going to hate me.
this is tough. I honestly don't know the answer to
gosh.
this. All right. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. There's a lot of letters. in
You
this
have
one.
to like clarify.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm ready.
All right,
You ready?
flip 'em.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Dreamy. Ew.
Kevin, Jeff picks Kevin.
Wow.
Phil picks Tom.
You know, I would go with Kevin because it's happened on our show before.
It has happened.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know about. I watch your show. Who hit
Kevin
on-
and Mayor Bill were flirting with each other.
Oh,
I saw it
whoa.
happen.
Wow.
This is huge news. Kevin Smith and Mayor Bill were flirting with each
Yeah,
other?
does Mayor Bill know this?
Yeah, Mayor Bill said that Kevin was his type.
Really?
No, he said Kevin wasn't his type.
No, he said that he was joking.
Oh, so he was his type.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, come on. Kevin's smart. He's got a good job.
He's kind of
He's the full
bougie.
package.
Little
You know,
bougie.
he's
Right.
good.
Well,
He
what was your-
appreciates the finer things in life.
Exactly. He's a classy guy.
That's
Dad's
fair.
a little abrasive, I think. He's a little abrasive.
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, that's my point.
He's a little too
Tom's
straight.
Tom's a little abrasive. I think he's a little dominating. So I'm going to say that Kevin being more
Are you
More in
saying
touch
Kevin's
with his
more...
feminine
feminine
side.
side, yeah.
Wow.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Just
That's not a bad thing.
no, it's not a bad thing. I think Phil, you're the exact same way.
I'm in touch with my feminine side?
Yes, correct.
You are, Phil.
Why? Because I'm wearing panties right now?
Yeah.
You're going to judge me because
Is that
of
one
that?
of our sponsors?
We're not judging. We're
comfortable,
just
Jeff.
stating a
They're
fact,
comfortable.
Phil.
They're
It's
silk.
a fact.
I didn't know what to pick there. I just went with McDreamy because they used to call him like McDreamy. Like a lot of people think he's attractive.
You know
I would
what?
assume men just as well as women.
I have this really core memory in my brain when Dad first became mayor. He was in this running on like Q101 or something for hottest mayor in the area, and he lost to like an 80-year-old.
But just being in the running, it's like you're up for an Academy Award. You're a winner, right?
I guess so. I mean, I would prefer to win over being nominated.
We'd almost have to have like gay men answer that question for us,
Exactly.
right? Because it'd be, we'd know the truth. But that's the reason I went with Tom on that one.
Well, Phil, do you want to answer the question?
I did answer
You
the
just
question.
answered it.
No,
I said
you said gay men should answer, but never
no.
mind.
I said that because he's been known as a hot, a good-looking guy, that I would just pick him, I suppose. But I don't know.
Okay. None of you get points. I
Wow.
don't, and I'm surprised chat's so split too. It's like kind of like 50-50 I'm seeing. Half Tom, half Kevin.
Really? I should be looking at these answers. There's probably some really good stuff in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
okay.
Next question.
Okay.
Let's get into it. We got a few more minutes here.
This is fun, by the way. I'm
It is
actually
fun.
enjoying this, but it's challenging too, Jeff.
Well, because you're trying to say the right thing.
yes,
And
without
be
getting
honest,
fired
Without getting fired.
and make it fun for everybody at home. So, okay.
Who is most likely to pee in the shower? Tom or Kevin?
Easy.
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 Yeah, this one is
Slam
easy.
dunk.
Yep. Oh,
Slam dunk. He's probably doing it now.
yeah,
Is
you're
my
right.
guess.
Okay. Flip them.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
This is the man who says, I don't need to take a shower. I'll just go swimming.
That's a good point.
Well, Jeff, you're first on your answer.
I think this one's easy. First of all, everybody pees in a shower. Am I wrong?
You are completely wrong.
You are incorrect.
I do not pee in the shower.
John,
You don't pee in the shower?
I do not pee in the shower.
You guys are disgusting.
We are.
I
I don't. Wait a minute. I don't get in the shower planning
Hold
to
on.
pee.
Hold
That's
on.
different.
We gotta create a poll here.
Oh.
This is crazy. Okay. Chat, coming your way. Do you pee
It's
in the
overwhelmingly Dad, though.
shower?
This is
It
this is a true story, by the way. When I first started in banking at Bank
These are anonymous answers, by the way.
They're not.
there was a teller there. Well, no, she might not have been. She was a personal banker, whatever it was. But the first question she asked of anybody she ever met was, "Do you pee in the shower?" And I
That's a
immediately told her
weird
no.
question.
And she didn't like me immediately because she said I was a liar. And I'm like, I don't pee in the shower. First of all, there's a toilet right there. Why wouldn't you just go before you go in
You
the
can
shower?
aim, like men can aim from the shower, just like,
That depends on your setup.
No, that's not good.
Why would you?
There's an arch needed and everything. It's not going to happen.
I don't.
It's
get
it's
that.
velocity and like, okay, like you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Just know the physics.
But why do you think Tom though over Kevin?
We just talked about all the bougie stuff. I think Kevin wouldn't do it. Tom,
He's too fancy.
Tom's going to say, heck with it, I'm in the shower. Like I said, I don't get in the shower planning to, but when the warm water hits you and then you got to go, are you going to stop the water and get back out?
So you're saying, because the reason I chose Tom is he was in the Navy, and I feel like, again, like I remember you telling me, because you were in the military, and, I remember you saying back in the day, like, you have to use the bathroom, like, in front of everybody, like, there's no stalls or anything. Like, I can't do that. I'm the stage fright guy. So I just feel like Tom in the military, that makes more sense. But still, if you're in the Navy and there's like an open shower everywhere and guys are just pissing all over the place, no.
Are you saying
Not
you've
accept-
never peed in the shower?
I'm not going to say never. I'm sure I have at some point. I'm just probably because I wanted to try it. Everybody's like,
I have heard
should
you've
do
peed
this."
in an air vent before. Is this true?
Yikes.
In his closet? He's peed in his closet.
They no
Yeah.
longer make Wild Blue. I only did that one time, okay? And that was one. It's like I'm 48 years old. One time I drank, I don't know, it was like 8 bottles of that Wild Blue. You remember that? It was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
blueberry beer.
Oh, yeah.
It was really strong. It was 8%. And I remember Kelly waking me up as I'm peeing into a vent in one of the rooms. And that was like, I think I'm going to slow down on the Wild Blue after that.
So here's the results of our poll. 55% of our viewers pee in the shower.
Hung jury.
45%
Still too split for
do
my
not.
The
liking.
majority of the people do this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I thought it would be higher, actually. I was thinking 70-30.
I don't get it.
I was thinking 70.
I was thinking 70-30.
Jamie said that when you're on your third shower beer, sometimes you just gotta go.
Exactly.
Don't
You know
judge
what?
them.
I would say some people probably aren't going to admit it if they do, right? Even
don't
on
know.
a poll, they're like, maybe they could see what answer I gave.
I really hope you pour bleach in your tub. I really hope you do.
Well, that's
Says
if-
nasty.
That's if you have COVID, right?
Okay.
Trump supporter. Okay, sorry.
We got time for.
So you got to drink.
We got time for maybe 2 more here.
2 more.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
This is fun.
Yes.
We're getting into them now.
Oh boy.
All right, chat. Here we go.
Oh boy, I don't
By
like
the
when
way,
he laughs.
When he laughs before he says the question, you know it's going to be good.
No, Chuck just said 45% of the people just lied about it. That's great. Okay, here we go. Who?
You can't even say the question. There's no way we're going to be able to answer it.
Who?
Do you want me to read it?
I
can read
got it. Who?
No, he doesn't got it. He doesn't got it.
Who? I can't do it, dude. Okay, here we go. Wait.
Come on.
Who has watched the most porn? Tom
I'm
or
not answering
Kevin?
this. I refuse.
Oh, you know what? I
This
got
makes me
for that.
really uncomfortable.
Oh, I know this one for sure.
I will say I was raised with my father's other sons.
This is easy in my estimation.
This.
Me too.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Who has watched the most porn? Tom or Kevin?
It's
Okay.
overwhelmingly.
Look at
bad.
that.
Both say Tom. Jeff and Phil say Tom.
Tom, if Tom's watching this, he sees that, he's probably thinking to himself, what giveaways, what tells do I have? Like, how do they know this about me?
Oh my God,
know?
my grandmother, Tom's mother, just said, I really hope that it's Kevin.
Oh, gosh. You should have made, like, family members get off. Couldn't you, like, knock them out of the
Make
podcast?
family members get off. What are you talking about?
Ew.
That's... Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead. I want to
They
hear.
didn't invite me to the planning.
That's
night.
almost as bad as the time I say if you buy 6 wings, you get a child. Jeff.
Oh.
Almost as bad
That was
as
so
as
bad,
that.
dude.
That was bad. That was
Okay.
bad.
Go ahead, Jeff. What's your reasoning?
I had some inside information from one of his children.
Okay.
I won't say which child.
Oh, no.
You talked about this question? You knew the question?
No. I just am talking about in general conversation. You know,
Okay.
that comes up all the time.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
porn.
definitely.
Who watches
Your
porn?
boss's porn habits.
All the time. So
always a hot topic for discussion.
I will say I had some. I don't say he does it anymore, but I would say Tom's probably watched his fair share of porn.
I hope it
Yikes.
wasn't Lindsay that shared
I
whatever
wouldn't
information
know that
you
thing.
had.
I just know the habits of my brothers.
Oh, no.
They're little kids, like they're kids, you know. And growing up in that with boys, do you guys have brothers? You have a
Yes.
brother.
I have a
Yes.
brother.
I
Okay,
have a
you know
brother.
that they're
Has a brother.
disgusting. You guys are boys too. You are brothers.
Yeah,
so
but Kevin has a brother too. What? I don't understand how that makes him less likely to watch porn.
I'm not saying less likely. I'm saying that it's a good indicator of
I don't see
familial
Kevin.
habits.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let me tell you my answer.
Yep.
And this will make sense to your podcast followers. When Kevin told everybody that when he's on the Peloton, he watches other dudes instead of women. I mean, that tells
Because
me right
the women's
there.
voice gets under his skin. Yeah.
There's no way I'm watching a dude while on a Peloton. I'm watching a woman. So that tells me Kevin isn't watching enough
We
porn
get
in
it.
his
You're
life.
straight.
He needs more.
Are you
pornography.
advocating pornography, Phil?
I don't think porn's a bad thing. I mean, is it?
That's the title of the show.
Is porn like Tucker Carlson asking that question? Is porn bad?
We're creating a new poll.
Oh God.
We were talking about Tucker Carlson before the show, how he never says anything bad. He always forms it in a question. So he'll be like, is porn really a bad thing? And then it just lets people, wander with that question. But anyhow, that's my thoughts behind it. As soon as I thought of Kevin on the Peloton watching a dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
1,000 points for you, Phil.
Yeah.
And 500 points for Jeff because he cheated on that question.
Yeah, he did.
I'm really losing.
Okay.
He was sitting with one of Tom's sons. He's like, hey, man, tell me something.
You guys watch a lot of porn?
Your dad and you, porn up? Do you guys porn up together? Do you know? As a family?
Okay. Here we go. Next question. This is probably going to be our last question. All right?
Okay.
So make it good here. Okay. Who would be the better cop, Tom or Kevin?
Oh, man.
Final question.
Who would
chat.
have are we talking in regards to stats, or are we talking wouldn't get in trouble, or are we talking knows the law better, or you gotta
Well, wait.
be
I don't want him
specific.
to be specific yet. I want us to pick first and then because if you get too specific, it's going to narrow.
Do
it
they
down.
have their current life experience, or are we going back in time to like when they first chose their careers?
I'm going to be really interested to hear Jeff's answer on this. I
Yeah.
mean, you got the assistant chief of police who's about to put a name on a board.
Yeah, be careful, Jeff.
This is a person with 32 years of experience. Like whatever he said, like my answer is just going to be, whatever. I don't even know what I'm going to put right now, but his answer is going to be like, somebody's going to be really offended because what the makeup is for a good police officer. So
Paul Goddard would like to remind you guys that Tom did chase a hit-and-run driver. So
Are we talking about who would be a good cop or who would prefer to be a cop?
who would be a good cop? Who would be the
Okay.
better cop?
Okay.
So while you're thinking, results of the last poll, is porn a bad thing? 86% of our viewers say no. It is not a bad thing.
See,
That is how naughty
It's
our
not a bad
listeners
thing.
are.
86% of your viewers are porning up. Is what we like to say on LOCPOD.
You know, we kind of like those stats as a podcast because we are not very appropriate on this podcast.
True.
So
Well, and using Chuck's logic, 14% are lying.
That's exactly.
Yes.
Chucky
And
T, did he put that on there
yeah, I
this
think
time?
so, probably.
Yep.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. Wow.
Whoa.
See this? I feel like I lose points because
Wow.
if the cop is saying Tom, then I'm
all right,
making
Jeff,
a mistake.
explain.
So this is a tough one. I mean, I literally could go 51-49 on this. The only reason I picked Tom is because, again, I've been around Tom a lot more than Kevin. I know how much Tom supports the police department. Kevin does all those things too, but I just think with Tom being a little bit more aggressive in a take control of the scene kind of way, because sometimes you have to be that guy. That's why I picked Tom.
That's interesting. I see Tom sometimes with a, knee-jerk reactionary style to things. So I think I could see him, just shooting him first and then later being like, well, hold on. He was just going 4 miles over the speed limit.
Phil, what are you going to do today on your last day as chief
Yeah,
of
I
staff?
know. This is going to be a
Tell
rough
me
one
about
for
your
me.
day.
Well, you have at least tomorrow. He won't be back until then.
No, but Kevin is also a very, reasonable, he's very conservative. I don't know. There's just a lot of reasons, I think.
I would
Kevin-
go with Kevin too. I think he's much more calm, cool, collected. That's somebody I would want as a cop. Whereas Dad, I grew up with him, so I know how loud he can get, and that kind of scares me.
Sometimes being aggressive is not a bad thing, though. You're out there hunting, looking for people in alleys and stuff like that. So I understand what you're saying. And again, it's not saying Kevin wouldn't be a great police officer, but I think Tom would be a little bit more aggressive.
I think
So-
Dad would be a better Batman. He'd be a good vigilante justice kind of guy.
There you go. I like that. That's fair. Yeah.
I don't think there's a wrong answer, but I
No.
just think that Tom would be better. But
Well, and by the way, we're getting 10 seconds to figure out our
Correct.
answer.
Yes.
Sometimes we could think more about it, but yeah, that was a tough one. Good
All right.
question.
Phil, I'm going to give you 100 points, and Jeff, I don't know, 101 points. So
Nice.
the game is over with that, and the show is almost over. So
I have the score. Do you guys want to know?
here's
Yeah.
the score.
Okay, Phil has 2,600 points. Jeff has negative 3,799.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Boom.
I feel like this is rigged in some way.
Just
I'm
like
not
the
sure
election,
how.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Lindsay held it against you that you pee in the shower. So you got a lot of
No,
negative points for that.
I wasn't giving out the points.
That
This
was
guy
John?
was. Vesmar was. So
Those are some good questions, John.
John's going to drive through Hammond, and he's going to have some dope in his car. There's going to be some drugs in his car.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
If John's in jail, there'll be a new producer the next LOCPOD show.
Okay. All right, guys. So, and then the winner of the chat participation, I'm giving it to Andrea Butler when she said, "I let them fight to the death over who gets the parachute."
answer.
That was a great answer. I wish
Great
we'd have
answer.
thought of that.
But they could have if I'm in that situation, I pretend fight and then I throw one of us out and then those two get the two parachutes.
You pretend fight? How do you do that exactly?
So if you're Kevin and Tom in that situation, you're like, yeah, we're gonna kill each other, but then they grab me or you and toss us out because
and
we
then they
made them
take
fight.
the parachutes.
And then they take the
See,
parachute.
because they're smart. That's
Yep.
why.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
So, Andrea, shoot us a message, please. Shoot us a message at LOCPOD
Yeah,
Facebook
you know
page,
me.
and we'll get you that gift card to Byway. Thank you for participating, chat. All of you were great. Thank you guys for playing this game. I feel like we're onto something here.
I like this game.
This was fun. I hope Tom and Kevin think it was just as fun as we thought it was when they watch it and see our answers.
Yeah, because I can see a Phil or Jeff poll coming soon.
Yeah. That
Tom
could be
just
a problem.
texted me and said, "Have you ever wanted to be chief of staff?" Why
That's
would he text me
strange.
that?
That is weird. But you know what? It's not like he's had several where I have to worry about getting fired any day now. You know, so
Well, you can get a job at BW3s anyway.
that's
so
right. They're paying pretty good.
Differences it make.
Yeah, but no, thank you to Tom and Kevin for letting us fill in today. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, Lindsay and John. You guys obviously
That's not
rock.
my name.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is it?
Is it not Lindsay?
No, it's the notorious LMP.
The notorious.
Put some respect on the
LMP.
name.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this has been great. Thank you to our audience for playing along and participating. John, I was just before we go, I was picturing you like sitting at home writing the questions, just laughing hysterically as you're coming up with these.
I was.
Especially since for some reason he couldn't get the porn one out. He laughed like 10 times.
I don't know
before.
why.
He's like a fourth grader, like saying, "Please, I'm saying porn." Like it was.
Sometimes I just start laughing, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to apologize.
You know,
for
we
that.
should do a Would You Rather one of these days. I think that would be fun.
Would you rather?
We might have came up with something that Tom and Kevin are going to take on.
I think this will be
for
fun.
Future Lockpad.
For sure. With guests on here, they could get this game going.
Yes,
Great.
and you've got the whiteboards already, so now you just
I
Love
can
it.
get 2 more too for us.
Boom.
All right,
Boom.
thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.